Another day, another Ned pod. This is Kirk. With me, I got Jacob. Say what up.
What's up? How's it going, guys?
How have you been? It's been a little while.
Been doing good. Yeah, it has been a minute. We recorded that episode with Jess, I think the beginning of the month, right?
Yep, oddly enough, that came out just today.
Yeah.
Coincidentally.
Weeks ago.
Yeah, we recorded that. It feels like a month ago.
Yeah, just about, because I think it was like it might have been New Year's Day or something like that.
Okay, that's fair.
This is also possibly, if you're seeing video, the first episode that we've recorded in video. If you're not seeing it, then it didn't work.
I'm now remembering, I have to, look at the thing like I'm on a video now. It's good. But we can now show show the beer that we're drinking now, which is cool. So
that's true.
So this is the Collective Arts X Stillwater Brewing. I guess they don't have a real name for it. They call it a blueberry, chocolate, coffee, and vanilla sour. It's pretty remarkable. It's if this was available all the time, I would definitely just buy it all the time. It's great. I mean, it's crazy.
Nice.
It's delicious.
I'm drinking the Keybilly Key Lime Ale from, is it Hob Brewing, I think? It's good. It's solid, It's got a nice liminess to it. It tastes like the beach. It looks dark, which is interesting. It doesn't taste like a super dark ale, but it's good.
And now that I finished that other one, now I have my on-deck beer, which is the from Swamp Head. Got some jellyfish. It's a jelly. It's like a grape sour, so I'm the sour man. You'll see. You'll have heard. If you've listened, you know. Oftentimes I'm drinking sours.
You and Trevor. You guys both love your sours.
We're acidic. We like acidic things, apparently.
But today we watched the Season 2, Episode 15, Ned's Declassified, of Spirit Week and Clothes.
Right. Spirit Week. Spirit Week was a thing more in high school, again.
Definitely not in middle school. Not that I remember.
Right? No, not at all.
Not that I remember. I mean, our school colors were what even was it? Black and a yellowish gold, I think.
Who was your mascot?
In middle school?
What was your mascot?
Panther.
A panther.
It was a Florida Panther.
See, that's badass, because what my middle school mascot was literally a Scotsman.
Yeah, Scotsman.
He's the Highlander. It's just a fucking...
That's kind of sick, though, honestly.
It's literally just a Scottish guy in a kilt with a bagpipe, and that was the school mascot.
That's classic Dunedin,
It's a Scottish town. They like
in high school, we were the Hurricanes.
Yeah. Stormy.
Stormy.
Daniels.
And that's what the mascot should have been. The mascot instead was a dude in a muscle suit with he had a mask that looked like the little hurricane symbol that you see on the news.
And we still don't know whether or not it was a grown man or a student in that costume.
I think it was a student, for sure.
I like to believe it was a grown man.
You think it was one of the teachers that volunteered for it?
That'd be sick if it was a teacher. It's like his secret.
Would be sick.
He keeps it a secret like Spider-Man keeps his identity a secret.
I think you have to.
Yeah,
it's a part of the creed.
Otherwise, you'd get made fun of relentlessly.
Well, that's true. But it started off with Spirit Week, just like in the title. It started off with the correct one. Yes. Ned looked.
Though we'll mention wrong episode on Prime.
Yeah, the Prime stuff is just fucked. I mean,
you guys are
there's no getting around that.
Yeah. Though
so if you're trying to watch on Prime, you guys are going to want to definitely dig deep into IMDb before you let that shit autoplay.
Pay attention. Yeah.
Yeah.
But definitely it's worth a buy on Prime. We were just talking
100%.
about, you mentioned before this episode on Reddit, we were talking about the subreddit, the Ned's Declassified subreddit. Definitely fucking subscribe on there. Yeah. Let's bulk that shit up.
Notifications on.
Yeah, I got to turn my notifications on so I see
email notifications.
Push notification banner.
That'd be good.
But there is someone that said that they bought from a person online. They, I guess, bought a bootleg Blu-ray of the series of Ned Declassified. So all Ned on a Blu-ray.
Yeah, off the dark web, the deep web, somewhere.
I guess anybody could make that if you had a blue.
Did they
light
respond to you?
I haven't got. I asked them where'd you cop that, and I haven't gotten a response yet.
No response.
But I'll keep you updated next. Obviously we'll return. I'm sure the subreddit will come up again because it's pretty interesting, and you'd think it would be less interesting than it is.
Between episodes, even when we're recording like a month apart, there's like 5 new posts.
There's blips
it's
of
like
activity.
Not much.
It's not much, but there's blips of activity, and sometimes it's interesting.
It always makes my day. I had to tell you about that post so you could check it out.
Every now and then I go on there and promote the pod, subversely.
Right.
You know, I'll like say something about the show, but then I'll be like, "Oh, and we were talking about it on the pod," and I'll slip it in.
And then dabble that curiosity. They might be like, "Oh shit, what pod?" They won't. Hopefully, they're not like the Drake and Josh subreddit where they have a blood feud with us. And fuck those guys.
And remember, there's less than 200 redditors on the subreddit.
Yeah,
it's small.
It's low key for sure.
Right. Part of the Spirit Week at James K. Polk Elementary is King and Queen Spirit Week.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
Yes, this is the male and female that are the most spiritual spiritual.
Yeah. And from jump, it is a clear win
on the
for
female
Susie.
Side, yes.
It's no question. The judges have already rigged it. They already know that it's going to happen, which is unfortunate. You don't want to see that.
It does seem like it almost seems like it's rigged.
It's for sure is. They called it day one. You can't call day one.
They're so in the tank for her.
It's disgusting. But for the guys' side, it was more open. It was an open and fair race. The 2 front runners for most of the time being Martin Corley, school VP, acting president when Weasel's out of town or out of episode.
Well, let's be real, all the time.
Yeah, well,
the Weasel's
a puppet.
It's a figurehead.
Yeah. He is.
And we haven't seen him or her. I think that the Weasel might be a woman, but I don't. That's
because of the burrowing, because of making the nest.
No, I just I just get feminine energy from it whenever it's on.
Right on. Yeah. It's motherly.
Even though they always fool it with like promises of female weasel sex.
Could be a lesbian weasel.
The decoy weasel is always a female.
Well, I think that's a lot of Gordy. That's Gordy trying to get off on that shit.
That's because Gordy. What would I think if I was a weasel? I'd want to fuck this weasel bitch. That's what Gordy would think.
Weasel. Gordy wants to make like a bimbo weasel.
Ned told him tone it down when he made that fake the taxidermy the taxidermy weasel puppet that he used to lure.
Ned was like, fucking chill, bro.
It's like, man, have some respect for this motherfucker. There's also a spirit stick tradition.
Some good Gordy action and clothes in the next half.
Yes, we do. But sticking to this episode, the spirit stick comes up. Krubs introduces this topic. It's a tradition. Superstition.
Yeah, they keep it in. I think it's a superstition and tradition. I think it's a double combo. They keep it in like the trophy case in between when it's not
off season.
Spirit Week. Yeah, off season on display. And it seems to just literally be a stick, like a branch they found outside that they painted, because you can see how like rigid it is.
It looks like it does look like a stick. That's painted.
Yeah, it's not like a wooden pole they got from a craft store. It's like just a stick.
No, it's not a baton. It's not a police baton.
Nope.
But what the tradition is it appears randomly in someone, or maybe it's magic.
I think Krubs picks it.
Someone breaks into a student's locker and puts it in there.
Or is that a Corley thing? Or he is VP.
Or it's magic. It's like a Hogwarts thing.
Well,
it's like the
like the Sorting Hat.
The Sorting Hat, or like the Goblet of Fire.
Man, I just do not remember like so much of the Harry Potter movies.
It's fine.
Actually, over the holidays, when
they get canceled?
I went over to my parents, what did Harry Potter?
I'm kidding. No.
Oh, when I went over to my parents, my sister was just like watching a Harry Potter marathon, and I didn't recognize any of it. I was like, this is like a new movie to me.
You don't know which one it was?
I'm like, it was one of the early ones, but I just did not recognize the plot line. I wasn't following it. I was like, what is happening?
Well,
it was weird.
I mean, hours and hours and hours of content, so I think that's reasonable to forget some of it.
Yeah, I mean, well, also because most of the movies I haven't seen since I was in the theater, so like it's just been. Like,
I've seen
over
most
10
of them.
years.
I've seen most of them a few times, but the most recent ones I've seen only once, I think.
Yeah, maybe they're worth a rewatch one of these days.
Maybe. The first tip that Ned gives in this episode is to go subtle with your spirit. So he does a thing where he flashes his socks. He's got alternate color, green and yellow poke socks. And he's like, look at this flare.
Yeah, bad tip though for trying to win the crown.
Well, he realizes, I think, that was a bad tip, of course, after he gets shown the fuck up by Quirrell the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, he gets... I mean, Quirrell balls out every day, except for Hat Day.
Quirrell's first intro is when he like does the bust through the thing painted up all the way, right?
Yeah, he's the half and half painted, and there's like confetti cannons.
He starts with that. That's a hell of a thing to start with.
It's a strong start. You expect that to be Seth, like you were saying when we were watching it. You thought it was
going to be
Seth
Seth coming out of there, jumping out of the thing. Yeah,
was it? It was randomly Martin Corley.
It's established right away that Loomer doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he does. He does not care.
But it bothers the judging crew, which is Krubs, Lisa Zemo, and who's the third person? The
I don't know. He's one of the nerds.
The nameless heavy guy?
I don't know what his name is. He's one of the nerds that's been brought up before. Yeah, he was at like Cookie's seminar when he was like trying to like,
He's got glasses.
Boost confidence.
Why is he on? He's the Randy Jackson character. That's why he's there.
It's literally just because
they do an American Idol thing.
Who's the extra that looks like Randy Jackson enough?
Because Zemo is Paul Abdul.
Yeah.
And Krubs is, of course, Simon.
Yeah. And they play their roles
wonderfully.
I mean, the kid that's supposed to be Randy Jackson even does like the like it's a no for me dog thing or whatever.
Yeah. Right. But they keep interacting with Loomer throughout the episode, and it's always the same thing. And I don't know why they don't just, be like, oh, clearly he's not into it. They should just ignore him. If he's not playing along with Spirit
Week. In reality, you wouldn't pay attention to him. You wouldn't even put him on the board because clearly he's not participating in Spirit Week, which is, not a mandatory thing.
He doesn't want to be on the board.
Completely voluntary.
Right. It's almost antagonistic, what the interactions that occur throughout the episode.
Yeah, they're trying to bully him.
They're making him feel bad for not participating. He's like, I don't believe in your shit. What if it was a religious thing? Maybe he was like a religiously objected to not participating in Spirit Week.
It's definitely possible.
It is possible.
I can see it.
It's not impossible.
His religion is being a greaser.
What's cool though is Ned agrees with him originally. Ned is like, you know what, Loomer's right. Why do we give a fuck about this? And then that's when Susie Crabgrass
he abandons him.
Yeah. That's when Susie Crabgrass comes out and is like, look at me, I'm all spirit. And then Ned is like, hell yeah. And that's when he desecrates the flag. He grabs the JK PMS flag off the flagpole.
Which you never
that shit
do.
On like a fucking cape.
Yeah, it's pretty disrespectful to the school, and to the honor of the flag. He
does get charged with vandalism.
It's definitely against U.S. flag code. I'm gonna say that.
It's against JK PMS flag code. I think he gets a day suspension. Isn't that what he says?
A day of detention, not suspension. Okay. Definitely doesn't get suspended. He's not there for one of the Spirit Week days, and he still catches up in the end.
That used to be the biggest thing. Remember when you would be like, "Is it suspension or detention?" Because it's like detention's like you're a bad kid, but it's like kind of whatever if it happens once. Suspension, is like you did some shit.
Yeah, detention doesn't matter because it doesn't go on your record.
Suspension is like solitary confinement.
Well, that depends if it's in school or out of school suspension.
That's a difference too. But
and then the final straw is getting expelled. That means you can't go to school anymore. You no longer go to school.
I thought you just had to skip to another tool. You had to jump town and go to another
Yeah,
school.
you go to a different school, but still, it's kind of fucked. It's like, you don't get an education anymore. We're done with you.
How often does that happen?
I don't know.
In real life.
And what school would they go to? They're like, oh, great, we got to take this kid in that's been fucking expelled.
We got to bus him over to the next one. We got to bus him over to the bad school on the bad side of town now.
Oh, shit. It's on the other side of the tracks.
You probably should have been goddamn going there from the beginning. Let's be real.
We should have bust him there to start.
Man.
Krubs does the classic thing on the watch gag that I love. Where he goes,
what is it?
Because
because Cookie finds out, he's like, look, it's in my locker, and then Krubs is like, it looks like you're the one who's gonna have the spirit stick, and if you let it touch the ground, it's like, I don't know what he says, you're gonna go to hell forever. Something like that.
Something about time. It's such.
I don't even remember how it fit into what he was saying.
It doesn't. Yeah, no one knows.
Sprung.
But Krubs does it great. It's just so funny.
Yes.
What's the next? Oh, the cartoon transition into the next day.
That was weird.
Into Pajama Day?
There was a day to night transition that was animated like a cartoon.
Yeah, this is where I first noticed that there's no California flag outside of the school.
You mentioned
it has been taken down. Flagpole completely removed. I don't know why.
I totally didn't notice until you pointed it out, and I didn't even notice it after you pointed it out because I forgot to keep checking.
And this is in both halves of the episode. This carries over into clothes. There's no flag.
I wonder if, because this is episode 13, we've watched episodes that came out
15.
after this one.
Episode 15.
Oh, no, but on Prime 13. We've watched episodes after Prime on this. I wonder if those were... I wonder if it's chronological. I wonder if chronologically the way it was shot, are we watching it in the right order? I would hope.
Dude, I have no idea.
There's
I'm
no
going
way
off
of knowing,
air dates and air dates alone.
Air dates is what we go by on this podcast.
Air date is honor.
Air date, air
That's
day.
what we did.
Air day.
We did it for Drake and Josh against all reason. We did it. We did air date. We're gonna do it with Ned's.
Air day. Air date.
Exactly.
But yeah.
So backwards day is next because there's not really anything to talk about with Pajama Day. I mean, fucking Corley wins it even though he's dressed like a fucking baby, and Ned has a sick like Macaulay Culkin Home Alone style outfit on and doesn't win somehow.
Yes.
But then for backwards day, everybody goes all out. I mean, they're wearing their clothes completely backwards, and it's quite the thing to see.
The only thing I wanted to mention before that, Loomer does drop trowel. He completely drops his pants.
He does. He hangs dong.
We see it. No, he's got boxers on, but still.
We're watching that bootleg Blu-ray where they added in a nude scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get to see his dice boxers.
His Andrew Dice Clay boxers.
That would be fucking wild, man.
He's pretty much
that guy.
He pretty much dresses like him.
Andrew
Leather
Dice
jacket.
Clay is a hell of a comedian.
Yeah.
I've never seen any of stand up, but is it any good? Have you watched it?
I mean, it's ridiculous. He's got his whole thing is he's a character, you know. So he'll be hickory dickory dock. That bitch sucks on my cock. He does a nursery rhyme thing that came out. That was his thing
That's
for a
so
while.
weird. That's so
that was
weird.
back in the 80s he was doing that, you know, so that was edgy.
And everybody
back then.
loved it?
Everybody, because he wears fingerless gloves. He's got the leather jacket. He's got fucking Elvis glasses.
Yeah, what's up with any of that? What's up with all of that?
I don't...
You know?
If you're like a diehard fan of Andrew Dice Clay, hit us up. Because that's wild.
Explain it. I don't know if there's many diehard Andrew Dice Clay also Ned Pod listeners. Like, the overlap can't be there. I can't imagine.
It might be, though. One thing, though, another Pajama Day note. Ned has a sick... he basically is dressed like Hugh Hefner. He's just got a robe, like smoking jacket almost look going on.
Yeah,
you
that's
said
what
Home
I was
Alone.
saying. I picture it as a Macaulay Culkin Home Alone style.
Yeah.
Just because of how recently I watched it, because it was last month when I watched it.
Yeah. What Cookie's plotline ends up becoming is he's trying to rid himself of the curse of the stick, which is a curse. It's not a blessing.
Yeah, he can't shake it. He tries to pawn it off on Mose throughout the entire episode.
And it's a curse from the get-go because Krubs introduces it as a curse. He's like, if this touches the floor, we're fucked. Everything's...
And he's serious.
The school's going to sink into the ground. Satan's going to come out. Everybody's going to get died.
It's fucked.
Right.
Where does that... You think he's a very, like, superstitious man?
He is clearly.
Krubs?
He is clearly because of the lotto thing, remember? He's a lotto addict.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's not a stable man.
I wonder if we'll ever see him bring in, like, a voodoo doctor or anything like that.
He's going to do something erratic one of these days, I'm sure.
Some sort of magic man comes in.
Yeah. He joins a cult.
Lift the curse from the school. That would be clean.
He's like the priest.
Yeah, exactly.
Priest.
Shout out the gangsters.
Only on Mosh.
The next day is so after Backwards Day. Oh, also the one thing I do want to mention from that day is that they also did the music backwards, which was tight.
That was a great little touch. Is all the music was run backwards during the sequence of Backwards Day.
That was very good.
Next
I
level.
liked that a lot. And a Crazy Hat Day was next.
That is next.
Ned got his hat commissioned, clearly.
It's a crazy custom, JPK PMS hat with, like, squiggly shit.
I think it says Polk. Across it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Green and yellow.
Corley comes in with a fucking hat that, like, is barely even good.
Susie has, like, a weird volleyball hat. It's like a...
It's literally a volleyball that she just cut in half.
It looks like, when you see the pictures of the cats and they have the orange peel helmet, that's what it looked like she had on.
Yeah, and for some reason the judges were still like, bravo,
well, it was school
amazing.
Colors. It was school colors.
Well,
as was her whole outfit. Why don't they just that's when I wrote it, why don't they just ignore Loomer, blah, blah, blah. Ned wins hat day big. He beats the shit, because what Corley shows up in is just like a jester hat.
Yeah, it's lame.
It's a green, yellow, purple jester hat, like something you'd buy at the boardwalk. A lot of stuff from the boardwalk shows up in that Declassified prop department.
Yeah, Krubs gives him, I think, a 4. A very low rating.
Weak.
He gives Corley a 4.
But that's basically when Cookie fully bamboozles Mose into gripping the stick, which he has completely, I guess, coated in super glue entirely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To the point where her hand is...
Amateur move.
Her hand becomes glued to it. His hand is glued to it. They are one.
Yeah.
Now what do?
Well, they're stuck together for life now.
How do they piss and shit?
That shit ain't coming
How
off.
do they piss and shit?
That's what Ned asks, and they're like, don't ask.
I want to know. Well, Cookie doesn't believe in using the bathroom at the school. We already know that. That's been established a long time
Yeah, but
ago.
I mean, it's also established in this episode that they're glued for more than a day.
It's more than a day?
Yeah,
How the fuck
it's
could
the
that
next
be
day
true?
because
they went home.
Because it goes from
How do they go
It goes
home?
from Crazy Hat Day. Remember, it goes from Crazy Hat Day, and then it goes to Hip Hop Day.
Man, that's preposterous.
And that's why we get that scene with Mose and Seth talking about how they went on a date, and Cookie says he liked it too.
They slept next to each other in bed.
Yeah, holding the stick.
He jacked off with his other hand that wasn't glued. He jacked off with a stick hand. Her hand was moving too.
That's fucked.
Oh my god.
But Hip Hop Friday, yeah, Mose and Seth are still dating. Didn't know that. Confusing. I thought they broke up. And Ned is fucking scratching on a turntable as his hip hop outfit.
Yeah, he's dressed in like a baby blue, sort of. I don't know why it reminds me of Fat Joe the way he was dressed. I don't know if that's even correct.
For sure. Yeah, right? That's a Fat Joe.
But it's like you said, it's the strap on like table double turntable thing.
The turntable.
That he's got and he's walking around with. I don't know how that's working or plugged in, but it's very impressive. But then Quirly rolls in. He's got a posse, a couple big dudes behind him.
Yeah,
a couple 30-something-year-old guys.
Yeah, how'd they get in the school?
He commissioned them.
How the fuck were they allowed in?
They must be on his payroll.
Did he siphon from the school budget and then gave those guys cash?
You know, they might be like other maintenance workers that we just haven't seen before that he got.
He just like went to the back of the school
went
where
to the
there's like a
boiler
loading
room.
dock, and he was like, come on.
Yeah.
They
Those are
need
the
you.
guys.
They were already dressed like that.
Those are the guys that do the work that Gordy doesn't do.
Yeah, which is all the work because Gordy
Exactly.
doesn't do shit.
Yeah. These guys must hate Gordy.
But yeah, so they basically have like a little like versus battle of Ned scratching and Quirrell just like looking tough with his posse, and the judges cannot figure out who's gonna win. And then it ends up coming down to Cook and Mose. They finally get free of the spirit stick, and it launches through the air. Everybody jumps at it. Krubbs tries to catch it in a really great slow motion.
They just yank back and
then,
forth until it becomes unstuck, and then, like you said, it launches through the air. Krubbs reaches out for it. No. And then it falls right into Loomer's fucking mitts.
Yeah, Billy gets it. He is declared Spirit King, along with Susie being Spirit Queen. And then everybody knows Spirit King and Queen always end up dating. So immediately they hold hands and they're dating now. And Loomer's just like, I guess that's the way it is.
And they have been dating previously. I guess they did break up.
They did break up.
And now they're back together because Susie...
They're back.
Susie really always probably wanted to get back together.
Well, I think Susie is a slave for tradition. You know, she's like, she knows it is what it is.
I think what Susie is that she wants whatever is not allowed. So if they're broken up, then she wants to be together. If they're together, then she wants to nitpick him and like destroy him and make him want to leave her, but she won't let him leave.
Yeah, I mean, she's a pretty twisted person.
She's twisted.
At the end of the day. Which, oh no, actually I won't dig into that because there's some spoilers, but there's a post on Ned's that I was going to reference, but I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, but I do...
Too many spoilers.
But bottom line, I do believe the curse is real. The stick curse. It cannot touch the ground.
You think so?
I think if it touches the ground, then like it's going to be like the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. People's faces are going to melt.
Man, that's a good movie. When are they going to do like a scene like that in this show where they use those kind of special effects, like people's fucking melting?
That'd be crazy.
That'd be fucking tight.
Cook
and Mose are fucking strapped to the pole, like looking away from it. Ned melts.
Ned melts. That's the finale episode.
Gordy melts.
They do a full homage to Raiders of the Lost Ark with all the Ned characters.
It'd be really good. I would dig
That'd
it,
be
dude.
next level. I guess I can rate the
Coconut Head's clearly a Nazi. Obviously, in this case, he melts.
I guess we can rate the episode now.
Yeah. Throw down the rating, man. Out of 10 weasels.
7?
I respect that. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go shockingly, first time ever. I think higher rating than you, and go for a 7.5 out of 10. Okay. I think it was. I enjoyed. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was solid.
Yeah. No. I was close to
Good
that.
Good theming.
I was close to that. It was kind of like every episode, it's like rating. It's hard to rate these.
It's hard to rate everything.
That's
true. But the next half is clothes, which I had thought they'd already talked about, and they kind of do just because like it's such a common thing to come up, you know?
Yeah.
But this is its full episode that they give it. And it starts off with Ned wearing a blouse.
He thinks it's a lefty shirt initially. You find out.
What does that even mean?
Well, the buttons, you know.
Yeah, but like a lefty shirt?
Well, why does...
It's not like they're golf clubs or something.
I think he thinks it's something like that, but why is that the case? It's odd. Why does the side of the button?
Whoa. Why a girl's shirt is on the opposite side of a boy's shirt? I have no idea.
It does seem like it's a lefty-righty thing.
You think they're like, way more of girls are left-handed than boys or something like that?
I don't think that's the case. I remember when this episode came out a little bit. I was like confused. I was like, because I didn't know that was the way that clothing worked, I guess.
Yeah, you're a lefty.
I'm a lefty. Yeah, maybe that's why, because I'm a lefty. So I'm like,
I'm not. I'm a righty. I'm a right-handed man.
yeah. Well, I'm like, whatever.
My left hand's useless.
The world is how it is.
Right on. At least you weren't born into a time where they forced you to use your right hand.
That'd be weird.
They like beat your left hand. They're like, that's trash.
Maybe I'd figure it out, but I don't know. It sounds wrong.
Maybe I'd figure it out. But when Ned finds out that he's wearing a blouse,
I think the shirt looks fine on Ned. Let me just.
I think it looks weird. I think it looks bad.
Okay.
It was too short.
Too short.
That was my issue with it. It was too short, and the sleeves looked too short too. They didn't even come all the way down.
Okay, I probably didn't pay close enough attention to that part then.
It's like clearly too small of a shirt.
Clearly a woman's shirt.
It's like, yeah.
Okay.
But when Ned finds out from Mose, because Mose is wearing the exact same shirt but in pink, because Ned's is blue, he calls for, I think is it emergency evacuation plan 4 or something like that. He says something like that, and Gordy just opens a trash can and he jumps in.
Yeah, something like that. Because we find out Ned did decide to skip an undershirt. Ned is often the type to wear the layered look.
Yeah, so it's shocking.
Right.
You know.
He decided to rock this new tee that he bought. Well, it's not a tee, it's a button-up, but it's a blouse. He decided to rock this blouse without an undershirt. That was his downfall.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I mean, it seems normal to me. I wouldn't normally wear I don't wear undershirts a whole lot, even with button-downs.
I do, depending on...
Unless it's a flannel.
Yeah.
If it's a flannel, I'll wear a shirt underneath it.
Every time.
But if it's like a dress shirt, I usually just wear it.
No,
shirt.
I'm the same way. The first thing, though, before the emergency plan, he does attempt to borrow a sweater from Mose. Mose informs him it's not a sweater, it's a shrug, which is just a sweater that ends just below your nipples. And doesn't extend.
And you tie it in the front.
You tie it off, yeah.
Tie it in the but long sleeves.
Useless.
The sleeves were
Seems
nice
like quite a
long.
useless garment.
I think it keeps your arms warm.
If anything.
You know? You don't see them a whole lot, though, anymore, though. I feel like I haven't seen someone wear that in a long time.
You think that's an early 2000s garment?
I think it definitely is. I think now, more often than not, if someone's going to wear a sweater like that, it's not going to be like a tie-off one in the front. It's just going to be like a cardigan.
But a half cut?
Not even.
A belly cut?
I'm thinking a normal cardigan.
This is a half-length sweater. The sweater ends here.
Yeah, it's weird.
If you guys own it,
nips.
hit us up if you have a garment like that.
Yeah, exactly. Missy is fashion police in this episode.
Yes.
She's writing tickets.
Missy and the squad. They go around. They say
she has no authority.
Well, she assumed.
Martin Corley did not deputize her. I want to say that.
You don't know that.
He would never.
You think that she's a vigilante?
I think she assumed the power.
She's a fashion vigilante. That's kind of dope. Honestly, I have no problem with that.
She's a fashion fascist, if anything.
She is a fashion fascist. I don't agree with her taste. I think that she's calling out too much things. You gotta let people do what they gotta, like, fuck.
Well, that's what Chopsaw says towards the end. He says style over fashion. Style over fashion.
That's a different point, but I agree with it. And that's a good lesson.
Yeah, because everybody has their own style, whether it fits into high fashion or not. I think it's a good thing.
Sure, and
he wears flannels every day of his life. I respect the shit out of that. I wear flannels all the time.
He said he was married in a flannel.
That's a little bit much, but I still respect it.
I think it is an easier thing to say to a boy than a girl, though.
You think so?
I don't know. That's what because it seems like I don't know, because you could just be a guy and, like you said, just wear. I guess a girl could wear a flannel all day, every day, as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, they could.
Anybody
can wear whatever they want, but like the fashion thing.
No, I see what you're saying. There's a higher standard a lot of the time put on women than men.
And I think that the timeless thing of style, at least maybe just because that's what I'm familiar with, for menswear, it's easier to just fall into and be like, yeah, this is just what looks good, because it's pretty easy to just have stuff that looks good if you just stick to basics.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially like to keep on the same thing as like saying flannel, you could wear a flannel with jeans and you'd look fine. Now you'd look fine in the previous like 5 or 6 decades. Right. Like it has not changed. You would blend in completely.
But that's what's cool about classic, classic menswear.
Yeah. Not a whole lot has changed. I mean, if you want to be like a hype beast,
that's fashion though.
You can.
That's what Chops was talking against.
If I'm wearing like Supreme all the time or whatever, whatever Zoomers are wearing now.
Joggers, skinny cut joggers, and like a hoodie with no sleeves.
Oh god!
Remember when you tried that on?
Yeah. I was just thinking about that actually. That picture when you said that. That's a great photo. Maybe we'll use that for the
Back in the day, we used to go to the mall. We would try on clothes. Sometimes you find a goofy garment like a hoodie with no sleeves, and you try that on.
Yeah, you throw it on and take a picture and post it to Facebook.
With no undershirt.
Yeah, clearly none.
Yeah.
It was a different time.
It was.
2011, 2012 era.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Ned ends up going to the costume department because he's trying to, replace his clothing for the day, or maybe for life.
Which is a great is a great thing to be able to think of and go to. Like, I feel like I wouldn't have thought of going to a costume department if this had happened to me in real life.
Yeah. Well, you'd think in the
I don't know if they would allow you in real life.
A, that, and then B, they're costumes. It's not supposed to be clothes that looks normal. It's fucking costumes.
But because of, you never know what you're going to find, though.
Sure.
So it could look normal.
What I assume he found was a costume from like a West Side Story sort of a play. He basically dresses like a greaser, which is kind of...
Or grease.
Yeah, it's kind of like how I dress some days, which is just with like just cuffed denim pants and a leather jacket and like a t-shirt underneath.
You do wear cuffed denim a lot.
I like raw denim. I like selvage denim, and oftentimes that's cuffed denim. And I do like a nice leather jacket, but I have a brown leather jacket. I don't have a black leather jacket. That's too greasery.
Yeah, I do prefer the brown leather over the black leather for jackets. I do want to say that I do not own a pair of jeans.
Oh yeah.
I don't have any jeans. I need to get a pair of jeans.
Have you got any cords though?
No, I don't have any cords either.
You're a khaki boy.
I do have a jean jacket. Yeah, I just wear like the
what's up, chinos.
Yeah, chinos from Banana Republic. I just wear the gray ones all the time.
Nice.
Like if I'm wearing pants.
That's clean.
That's I need to mix it up a little bit, but it's so standard. I can wear it with anything.
Yeah. No, I mean that's why they're like they're a little bit more formal than a denim, but
yeah, but I wear them though with t-shirts, so I like dress it down,
Yeah, that's what's good about them.
That's what's great about them, and they're soft.
But Ned dressing that way gets him in close buddy with Loomer. Loomer's like, I've got a leather jacket, you've got a leather jacket.
Loomer's got like some sort of fucking bird brain where like every time if Ned takes off the jacket just a little bit,
he takes it off his shoulders.
Yeah, Loomer's like he goes back into bully mode, but then when he puts it back on, he's like, "Why don't we hang out?"
Yeah.
Bigby.
He takes it off.
He's doing the fucking voice.
Well, I could beat you up or make you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Or we could be best friends.
And that's all we get out of it too. We didn't get any follow up. No follow up with Loomer.
Not really, right? No.
Also, there's not really a whole lot of incentive for Ned to keep changing outfits, but he does change outfits throughout. Why?
I don't know. He could have stuck with that one, and that would have been just fine.
Yeah, he could have stuck with that one and gone home, and the day would be over, and it would be fine.
Or like after he walks away from Loomer, he could take the jacket off, and he'd just be a fucking guy in a goddamn white t-shirt and jeans.
Yeah, he's literally just wearing a blank, like light heather gray t-shirt. And jeans and boots, and that's it. It's the most standard look.
I think it's because he's experiencing a serious identity crisis during this episode.
Well, he is. I mean, to be fair, I think it's a better look than he's ever had on this show because his looks usually is not my preferred. I think he looks dumb a lot of the time with the weird, like, early 2000s
A long
layered
sleeve,
long
a
sleeve,
long sleeve, and
short
then a short
sleeve.
sleeve button up over the long
I
sleeve.
hate it. But to be fair, it is what I wanted to do at that time, at that age. I wanted to look like that. My mom wouldn't let me. She hated that look.
You're not fucking wearing a goddamn long t-shirt
Yeah, she didn't like the layered.
under a button-up short sleeve shirt, Jacob.
Yeah, she's like, you look fucking dumb.
What is dumb about it?
Which is
though?
fair enough. I respect
What
it.
is dumb about the look?
It looks it. I think that it makes your arms look weird.
It makes your arms look
You know?
warm,
That is true.
but we're
That's
in Florida.
facts.
And
Yeah, but we've had a cold winter.
we have.
Finally.
We had some
We've had a cold
sub
winter.
30 degree days here, up here in North Florida.
Oh yeah, for us that happened very infrequently. I think
No,
we had
yeah.
like 2 days where I mean I get up at 3 a.m. and I'm going to work at 4 o'clock, but so at that time some of the time it was like 39, but it didn't nearly dip down as cold as it would in Gainesville.
Yeah. There was a Ned says Mose looks like a guy, or dresses like a guy, rather.
Yeah, I don't 100% understand what he means by that.
I think what is basically meant by that is that she dresses comfortably, broadly speaking.
Yeah, I mean that's what he says, but like, I mean, I wouldn't.
She doesn't.
I don't 100%
She doesn't dress
agree
like a
with
guy.
that being a guy thing. Yeah, it's.
It just doesn't make. I think they forced. I think that was a script forcing.
I think it was too. Because she dresses totally normal.
She dresses like a
Like-
normal middle school girl. I could presume. You know, all the costuming in the show is believable to me.
Yeah, it is. It totally is. Even Cookie with like his tucked in polos, you still saw that all the time.
Yeah. But it's clear that he's the nerdy one. But like, it's still believable.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you'd still
It's
would have
not
seen that back
preposterous.
then.
He doesn't. The guy that's ridiculous is the guy with the cart that we've talked about that has the prank store glasses.
Yeah, the cartoon glasses guy. Yeah, he's the one. Even Lisa Zemo, I could see somebody wearing clothes like that. That's just like into thrifting.
Yeah,
you know,
and this is
just like someone that's into thrift shops.
right. And speaking of people that are into stuff, this episode is featuring the curly-haired bully kid, which we find out this episode his name is
Yeah.
Crony.
Which is hilarious because he is a crony.
He's just a crony, and his name is Crony. And
Yeah.
Cookie basically ends up coming ways with him because Cookie wants to design some sort of a unisex Nehru suit uniform
yeah.
for the communist future of JKPMS. For everybody to wear the same thing.
It is really communist future. Everybody looks the same. Everybody has the same stuff.
Yeah.
And,
Also-
and, you know,
Also, during this time of the episode is when Mose finds her way back to the costume department and changes her outfit to be more fashion forward.
yeah, it's kind of a sad part of the episode. She like is like
She's destroyed.
she has like a little crisis.
She's very distraught.
You know?
She wants to be very fashionable, and yeah, it's rough. She basically ends up putting on some sort of a legally blonde looking sort of an outfit, I would describe it, yeah?
Yeah, similar to Missy and crew.
Very similar to the way that they're dressing, the fashion police themselves. The Gestapo.
Yeah, a lot of pink. An insane amount of pink.
Everything's pink.
Yeah. Instead of the brown coats, they're the pink coats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the puss coats. They go around giving goth violations. They say that's an excessive use of gray to the future lawyer.
Claire Sawyer, future lawyer.
She's like, this is ridiculous, and they're like, so is wearing a power suit to school, and they're not wrong about that.
That is a lot, unless you're like going to like student UN, you know.
Yeah, sure. Right.
Which would have been tight if that would have been if that was a thing at our high school.
I think it was.
and it was a thing that I missed.
I think it was.
That is a fucking shame. That would have been tight.
I think that there was a
Damn.
mock UN, I believe, because I think Praveen was involved with it.
Damn, I should have done it. That sounds so cool now.
Right? You could be like the Senate in Star Wars.
Dude, I would have fucking, yeah, exactly. I would have been doing the fucking alien noises clapping above my head.
Yeah. So basically what they design, it's like a man's skirt with a pouch.
And a cup holder.
It's a cup holder. It's got cup holders as well.
And it also has a butt cushion.
Has a butt cushion
for all the
built
hard
into it.
surfaces in a public school that you will find.
And they are there. That's real.
And then Chop Saw talks about the fashion v style, which we already kind of talked about.
That's right. Chop Saw goes, don't go into fashion, do style that stands the test of time, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I believe that.
I mean, I think it's great advice. At the end of the episode, everybody gives the fashion police tickets and scares them off. They're like, listen, we're allowed to wear whatever we want. Ned's in a fucking full Viking outfit. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's pretty much the episode. I feel like there's less to talk about in that episode than in the first half.
I think so. It seems that.
For that reason, and many more, I am going to bump it down a little bit than my previous one. I'm going to go for a 7 instead of 7.5. I still enjoyed it a lot. Both halves, I had a good amount of time. You know, I had a good time with. It was fun, but a little bit worse.
So I'm going to do a move that's not necessarily unprecedented, but is a little bit out of the ordinary. I'm going to change my previous score. I am going to match you at the 7.5 on the previous half of the episode. And I'm going to match you on this.
You're going up?
I'm going to match you on this half as a 7.
Oh, you changed it. You changed the previous rating.
Because
I
think that half was better than the second half after talking about it.
But you didn't want to bump this one down to a 6.5.
Right.
You didn't think it was weak enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would have been kind of a slap in its face, honestly.
Right.
But yeah, no, I think that's solid. I think we were on point again. Do you have any final thoughts or any final shout outs, Kirk?
Well, I mean,
do you have our call to the nation?
I have our call to our nation that I do most episodes. Obviously follow us at Harbor_boys on Instagram and YouTube, right?
Yeah, on Instagram and Twitter. On YouTube,
we're on Twitter?
We're the Harbor Boys. Yeah, we are. We never use it anymore, but we do have it.
I don't have Twitter, so I'm active. Off Twitter. So if you have Twitter, definitely delete it. But go. But yeah, at our YouTube, it's just the Harbor Boys.
Yeah. Okay. It's youtube.com/c/the Harbor Boys.
Sure.
But I mean, if you're watching the video.
If you're watching the video, then here we are. This is crazy, right?
Yeah.
If you listen to the audio on the Apple Podcast app, that's what's up.
Yep.
Hit up late
or SoundCloud.
Yeah, hit up,
if you're a SoundCloud only boy,
you're an OG.
Shout out.
You're an OG for sure.
Yeah,
you have to
big
be.
Shout out.
Always shout out. Hit up at Lady M Shosters, at Daniel_Curtis_Lee, at Devin Works Harder, at Pinky Pinkston. Comment on their IG posts. Hit them up in the direct messages. Tell them about the podcast. We want our goal is to get any or all of them on the
finale.
pod. No, on any episode at any point, whenever it's convenient.
Well, any episode.
Anytime it's convenient for them, we'll stop our lives and fucking record a pod.
Dude, I'll quit my job.
I'll take a day off at the least. For sure.
Exactly. Yes.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and possibly watching, depending on the outcome. And we'll catch you guys for the next Ned Pod. Stay netted.